Hi, I'm Emily. Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm a faithful follower of Christ. Jill, I was about to take a bunch of pictures, and then I thought, I'll make a video. So I'll make a video for anybody that wants to watch. I am ready. I'm mentally ready to step into metabolic resets. So metabolic resets, just imagine you're making all sorts of progress, losing the weight you want to be losing at a 10 to 20% deficit from your TDEE. This is all Kelly Hogan helping me do this. Okay, your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. So if I were to just sit in a chair all day long, how many calories would I have to burn to stay alive every day? And I want to, if I ate that many calories, then my weight would stay the same. That'd be my maintenance. I want to eat at a deficit. Yes, just less. Not too far below or I won't lose. So it's a sweet spot of 10 to 20%. This is all research-backed, proven statistics stuff. However, if you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over, your body's going to get used to it. And your body will go, oh, okay, so this is the rhythm. This is where we're at. This is where we're going to stay. Well, then I'm just going to learn to operate on this amount and not release any more fat, because your body's trying to help you by hanging on to the fat. And we need to tell our bodies, thanks, but no thanks, right? So you have to throw your metabolism for a loop. That's what a metabolic reset is. And you can do that in a number of ways. And Kelly has a handbook that she's written that I imagine someday will be published. And we are on the inside right now getting this thing emailed to us. It's 90 pages. I am going to have it printed out, but it's 90 pages of like tons and tons and tons of links too. It's, you guys, Kelly Hogan, $50, worth it, especially since a good old binge is $50. So anyways, you got to throw your metabolism for a loop or it'll get comfortable. Autopilot, we don't want that. We got to throw it for a loop to keep things stirred up, moving. If things aren't growing and changing, they're dying. We don't want our metabolism dying. I think of it as a stream, if not a rushing river. That's what we want our metabolism to be, not a stagnant pond. And plenty of ponds are beautiful, but they don't stay beautiful if they don't move, if the water doesn't flow somehow, some way. Anyways, we don't want a stagnant pond or a dried up mud puddle. We want our metabolism to be flowing. So I also think of it as a bicycle. So here Kelly's got me learning how to ride a bike, and then all of a sudden she's like, wait, you're doing great on your bike. Counting my calories every day, staying in my calories. This was a huge adjustment for me because I was going from like, I don't know, 3,500 calories a day. I don't know. I was eating as much as I wanted, comfortably stuffed. You know, you hear that all the time on carnivore. I thought I could let go of the sugar and the flour, but hang on to the stuffing myself, binge eating, if you will. Just mindlessly going down the road, just slurping up fatty, salty meats, or sitting on the couch with my husband after a long day and just sit there with chicken and sausage and beef and watch some show, you know, like chewing and swallowing and staring, right? You with me? So this has kind of broken that. So I didn't have to, but I handed over that behavior. Anyways, I was probably going from 3,500 calories to now on my little, with my height, my weight, my gender, my age, I'm on a lot less than that, but I'm learning how to be very, very satisfied on that, especially with, it's two parts. You get your 10 to 20% deficit, but you also hit that 60 to 80% fat. Total game changer. Total game changer. My sleep has gone from awesome to awesomer. My energy is on point. Like I'm like, well, I guess I'll take my usual nap. Maybe I won't actually. I could probably just make it till bedtime. The fat, upping the fat has been humongous for me. That's riding a bike. So Kelly's like, hey, I want you to learn how to ride a bike. And then she's like, but wait, I want you to hula hoop once or twice a week. And I'm like, but I'm still learning how to ride this bike. And you want me to hula hoop? Now, can I just like hula hoop in 6 months after I've really gotten good counting these calories and riding this bike? And she's like, no, let's definitely don't do that. Let's go ahead and not even for the sake of weight loss, but for metabolism. So I've heard it explained, a key indicator of health is that you can eat a ton and not gain eventually, meaning the more you eat and the more you metabolize, the more you are a raging fire. Okay, how many, this is a lot of metaphors, a lot of analogies. We want our metabolisms to be raging fires, not just for the sole purpose of losing weight. So even when we get to the weight we want, we still want to be able to eat a ton of food and burn a ton of food. And that in itself indicates that we're in a healthy body, a high metabolism. I also learned that from Lily Kane and her husband talking about the importance of a high metabolism for optimal health. And a high metabolism is a sign of optimal health, that you can eat a ton. Kelly Hogan is this big now, went from 260 to 125, and she eats like 3,500 calories a day. Just a ton. It's awesome. That is so fantastic. Your body is functioning well. One definition of function is in, out, in, out. Calories in, calories burned. Nothing's getting hung up, bottlenecked, stored. It's all being utilized. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Let's use our bodies in every system they're made up of. So anyways, here I am learning how to ride this bike and count these calories and stay in my macros to hit 60 to 80% fat. And now I am supposed to throw that for a loop one day a week. Well, that kind of threw me for a loop mentally, because I was like, so you're telling me one of my 1 to 2 days a week can be eating high calories? And my brain's like, oh, we get to binge. No, brain, no. That's not the point. Do we get to eat as much as we want? Yeah, for one day. It's going to be great. Do we get to do it without tracking? Yes, it's gorgeous. It's lovely. But is it for the purpose of giving our brains a break from tracking? No, it is to knock the bike over just a bit. Because if that bike gets rolling and it gets autopilot and it gets too comfortable and it gets too steady for too long, our metabolism will slow down, because our bodies will realize we're in autopilot and just say, you know what, I'm going to start storing this fat, because I certainly don't want us to keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. That couldn't possibly be good. So I kind of think of it one of two ways, either like taking a break from bicycling once or twice a week to hula hoop, learn a new skill, not school. And you can kind of think of the metabolic reset as somebody, you're going down the road and you're just rolling and you're on that bicycle and you're pedaling and you're just thinking about whatever you want to think about. And then somebody comes along and like, boop, knocks you over. You don't fall down, but you have to, oh my gosh, it wakes you back up and regain control. And that's probably a bad analogy. But my point is, we don't want the bicycle on autopilot. We want to ride the bike 5 days a week, hit our minimum calories so that we know we're getting enough. You have to be sure you're getting enough. And by the way, nobody's ready to metabolic reset if you're still hooked on sugar, if you're not getting enough calories. You have to make sure 5 days out of the 7, you are getting at least your minimum calories, and not still tangled up with sugar. So anyways, I'm grateful to be to this point. It's been decades in the making. But 5 days a week of riding that bike, 10 to 20%, 60 to 80%, 10 to 20% deficit, 60 to 80% fat, like clockwork. I'm loving it. I'm just hitting that nail on the head every day. In fact, I'm putting my food in the night before when I'm done eating, but I'm thinking, oh, you know what would have been good today? I can have it tomorrow. So I go ahead and fill in my diary for the next day when I'm like kind of wanting some food. So it's fun to like say, oh, tomorrow I get XYZ. That's all prefrontal cortex stuff. That's all thinking ahead, planning ahead. That's executive function here. And then the next day, what's really beautiful is I don't want to screw around and swap stuff out, because it's not 1-to-1 anymore. So when it was just calories, I could say, you know what? I'll put brisket in here, but I don't have any brisket. I've got donuts. So I'm going to swap out 500 calories of brisket for 500 calories of donuts. I'm kidding. I don't eat sugar. But I couldn't even say, you know what? I've got brisket in here, but I don't have any brisket. I'm going to swap these 500 calories of brisket for 500 calories of shrimp. I can't do that anymore, because I very strategically the day before got my macros where I wanted them, where the fat is 60 to 80. If I swapped out fatty brisket for shrimp, I probably wouldn't hit my 60 to 80. So I'm highly motivated to stick with whatever it was I decided I'd stick with the day before. So this is going well 5 days out of the week. The other 2 days are going to be one of these fast, one of these metabolic resets to hula hoop, to throw my metabolism for a loop. Okay? One of those will be a high calorie day, and Easter will be one of them, because we're going to have Easter up at my mother-in-law. So I'll probably bring deviled eggs, and she'll have ham, and we'll have turkey and whatever else. For the month of March, I'm still not touching dairy. I may never need to again until I'm at my goal weight, because that's an instant 10-pound swell for me, because dairy is designed to make mammals grow. Casein, casomorphin, morphin as in morphine, it's very addictive. Anyways, and it does have carbs. So one day a week I'll do a high calorie, and I will not track it. I will enjoy the heck out of it. My little small town just got a barbecue joint. Yes. Yes. Count me in. So the other day will be some form of fasting. 1 week I might do a sardine fast, which is up to 3 days. Nothing but sardines. Dr. Boz, B-O-Z, sardine fast. Interesting stuff. I have heard of a sardine fast before, and I heard someone describe it as you don't eat anything but sardines, and so that's how you know if you're hungry or not, because you have to be really, really hungry to eat a sardine. I thought it was sort of like saying I'm going to do a dog poop fast. Like the only thing I get for 3 days is dog poop. So if I'm I'm going to have to be really, really, really hungry to eat a dog turd, right? That's what I have heard this described as. Okay, that's not what it is. Sardines are actually a superfood. And I heard one guy say, Jesus gave out fish. That's all I need to know. He also gave out bread, but that's his prerogative. Anyways, so sardine fast. There's a water fast. I won't do it. Makes me want to binge. There's a fat fast. I won't do it again for a long time. I ended up in the bed feeling sick as a dog. There is a lean fast. I won't do it because I'm not interested in lean foods like chicken and shrimp, not without the fat. There is a egg fast. Not interested because I eat so many eggs every day. So I am interested in the sardine fast, the bone broth fast, where you can add 2 tablespoons of bone broth to 3 cups of broth throughout the day. Excuse me, 2 tablespoons of butter. There's an OMAD, a 2MAD, and then the standard carnivore is the high calorie. So most of these fasts are under your calories. The standard carnivore is 1 day where it's way over. But do you see the idea here is that you take those X amount of calories that you're hitting every single day and you throw that for a loop. In Kelly's handbook, she shows this graphic where she usually does 1 week of a Saturday and a Sunday, and then 1 week of a Monday and a Thursday, and then she alternates that. So that's what I'm going to aim for. I am not going to plan the month out. I'm going to kind of plan, I'm going to look ahead at the week and say, ooh, high calorie right there. That'll be date night for Greg and I. And I will snack my way to the date. It'll be great. Eggs and beef sticks or whatever I want from the gas station, just a very different day than my other days. And then I'll say, and you know, that's kind of a light day right there. I might just take it easy that day and do some bone broth. So I don't know. I'm going to plan these, the details of them, kind of week by week. But here's the whole year. Jill, I made this video to show you how organized I am. And then I got to get out of here because I got to take a kid. I'm meeting his parents at Walmart to return him to his rightful family. Okay, here is what I've come up with. All right, so here's my little, this I printed off the handbook. Here's March. There's the 1st and the 31st. And I just want this visual, and this is going to be in my kitchen. These are the fasts that I'm interested in. Sardine, bone broth, OMAD, 2MAD, and standard carnivore. These are going to be my visual. So I bought these, and so if I do a Sunday and a Saturday, then across that one line right there, I will have 2 dots. And then if I do a Monday and a Thursday, I'll have 2 dots, and I'll just be able to visually see what the whole landscape of that particular month looked like. Okay, here's my thumbnail. That's it. I gotta run. I told these people I was gonna leave right away. I am. First, I had to get my metabolic reset year mapped out. That's it on metabolic resets. Not an opportunity to binge, not a way to manipulate the scale any further. This is for people that don't even want to lose weight, but just want to keep their metabolism revved so that they are fully functional, healthy as can be, eating and burning machines. I love it. All of this stuff is so healthy. It's so Just makes me think of like when our bodies are really, really thriving. You know, you hear of a little baby that won't eat, it's failure to thrive. We want to thrive. We want to have a high metabolism, not just for weight loss. So this isn't just an opportunity to binge and then restrict, or restrict and then binge, which is what I was very, very uncomfortable with in the beginning. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to trust Kelly and the good Lord on this one and move forward. I love you dearly. I'm out of here. Jill, I'll talk to you soon. I love you dearly. We'll talk again soon. Bye.